Hendrick continues to impress and continues to dominate in the NASCAR Cup Series right now, and Kyle Larson looks like to be Chase Elliott's new contender for the road courses. We have a lot to talk about, guys, from Sonoma. Hey guys, NASCAR Motor Free back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Toyota Save-Mart 350. I don't know why the race today wasn't even 350 miles. I mean, it was 90 laps, and 90 laps at what, like a 2.52 mile road course? That's not even close to 350 miles. Heck, even when they ran 110 laps at Sonoma, that wasn't even 350 miles. Maybe 350 kilometers? Oh no, wait, that's not even close. Dang, I don't know, but whatever. I think they just need to change the name for next season. But yeah, anyway, in today's review, we're going to be reviewing our top 10 finishers, rate the race, talk about the race as a whole, and look at the drivers who had a good race and the drivers who had a bad race, because this race was pretty good. It was a pretty decent race. Kyle Larson gets the win again. Chase Elliott finishing in a close second for the second week in a row. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive on more into this race review. Finishing first was Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson able to get his third win of the 2021 season. He also becomes the first driver to win a stage at Sonoma and win the race, which is really weird because ever since stage racing hit Sonoma for the past 4 years and stuff, the winner of one of the stages has not won the race, and I was thinking, wow, that's crazy. But Larson swept both stages and got the race win. This is now 270 wins for Hendrick Motorsports. They just added the decal that goes like right here on the car that said 269 wins. They're gonna have to take those off and change them and stuff. Maybe just take them off and then apply them for the 2022 season. You don't know how many more wins Hendrick Motorsports is gonna get, but this is now 7 wins for Hendrick Motorsports. Larson, like I said, gets his third. That's 3 wins. Bowman has 2, and Elliott and Byron both have 1 apiece. So that's 7 wins. And they even said at the beginning of how many wins could Kyle Larson get by the end of the season. Boyer predicted 7 wins, which is very likely because now Larson only has 3 right now. He's currently now leading the playoff standings because in COTA, he was 3rd in the playoff standings. After Charlotte, he was 2nd. He was beating Bowman, since they both had 2 wins, and now he beats Truex, because they both have 3 wins. So really impressive day for Kyle Larson. There's now 4 wins in a row for Hendrick Motorsports, 2 in a row for Kyle Larson, and also because of Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott's 1-2 finish, they now tie the record since 1956 for the most 1-2 finishes in a row in NASCAR history. So now if Hendrick Motorsports gets a 1-2 finish in Nashville in a couple weeks, since the Texas All-Star race does not count. But in Nashville, if they do get a 1-2 finish, that'll be 5 in a row, and that will break the record since 1956. So that'd be a pretty huge milestone to get right there, because since 1956, that's 65 years ago. So that's, and heck, 65 years ago, none of these drivers in Hendrick Motorsports right now weren't even thought of. They never existed. And also, this was Hendrick Motorsports' first win at Sonoma since 2010, when Jimmy Johnson won after Marcus Ambrose had that controversial stop and go during caution laps. And also, this is Kyle Larson's first road course win, so good job for Kyle Larson, the 5 team. Can't wait to see what they'll do at Nashville. Actually, at the Texas All-Star race, because they were technically Larson was technically the last driver to win the All-Star race on 1.5 miles, which was at Charlotte back in 2019 before he got suspended and stuff. So yeah, we'll see what Larson can do at Texas, but yeah, a decent day for Larson and the 5 team. Finishing second was Chase Elliott. Once again, Chase Elliott comes up so close for the second race in a row. He almost had it at the Coke 600 last week, and now comes up short once again here at Sonoma. So really sucked for Chase Elliott, but once again, he's just doing really good, because I think this is probably the best we've seen Chase Elliott so far this season, because at first, Chase Elliott was hit or miss and stuff. But now, right now, he's starting to look like a really good hit. He just needs to get there, but he's just not as good as Kyle Larson. He's just not, and stuff. And really, Hendrick Motorsports, their biggest challenger was Martrix Jr. all day and stuff, and Chase Elliott was still better than him. But yeah, decent day for Chase Elliott in the 19. We'll see what they can do at the All-Star race next week, since they won the All-Star race last year at Bristol. So good job for Chase Elliott in the 19. We'll see if they can get a win at Nashville in a couple weeks. Finishing in third was Martrix Jr. So it's 2 weeks in a row that JGR is what the next finishing race team in the final results of a race, because in the final results of Charlotte, Kyle Busch was the highest non-Hendrick Motorsports driver, and now it's Martrix Jr. So Joe Gibbs Racing, it looks like it's just Hendrick versus JGR at this point. But yeah, both Hendrick and JGR had two drivers have incidents in today's race. But Martrix Jr. definitely was fun to watch in today's race, because early in stage one, I really loved seeing him just climbing through the field, because he was marching his way through the field. He was just a man on a mission. But once he got up there, he was no match for Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott. He could beat Byron maybe Byron. He could definitely beat Bowman. Bowman's not really that much of a road course racer. It's just that he's up and down at the road courses, because Bowman has three top tens at a road course this season, but we'll get to him in a minute. But still, decent day for Martrix Jr. in the 19 team. This was actually their best finish since their win at Darlington, because at Dover, they didn't have a good race. Charlotte, they didn't have a good race. In Coda, they didn't have a good race. In fact, they got in that scary wreck with Cole Custer in Coda. Ooh. But still, decent day for Martrix Jr. in the 19 team, and we'll see what they can do at the Texas All-Star race. Finishing fourth was Joey Logano, the highest finishing Ford in today's race. And I think he was the highest finishing Ford in last week's race at Charlotte. So decent. It was a good 2 weeks for Joey Logano in the 22 team. Just not as good as the Hendrick Motorsport camp once again. But still, Logano still had a pretty decent day in the 22. They were up there at first. I believe he was on one restart. He was up on the front row with Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson, and just easily got beat. Oh, no, wait, it was Kyle Larson. But he easily got beat. So Logano, he's there, just not quite there. He still has a win from Bristol Dirt, but we'll see, because these upcoming tracks, I don't know. Nashville, he could do good, but we just wouldn't know. But still, it was an okay day for Joey Logano. Nothing much to say about him. He wasn't really that much of a big factor, but he was definitely a top 10 car. Rounding up the top 5 and 5th was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch also had a pretty decent race. Just couldn't beat the two Hendrick Motorsports drivers. He beat Byron and Bowman in this race, mostly because Byron DNF'd in this race, so I hate to see it. But we'll get to that later. So, yeah, but then he just couldn't beat Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott for the second week in a row. So, yeah, Kyle Busch, he is up there. He is getting back to his Kyle Busch-ness from, 2019 and stuff, or before that. But yeah, you could already tell this has already been a better season than last year for Kyle Busch. Even if they didn't have the win and they were still running this consistent, you'd say this was better than 2020. But still, Kyle Busch had a decent race and stuff. He definitely looks like a round of 8 driver in my opinion. But will he make the championship 4? That is in the question, because I feel like that last spot could either go to him or probably Denny Hamlin. But still, decent day for Kyle Busch. They did get some damage in this race, but they still wound up with a top 5 finish. In fact, Martin Jr. was better than him anyway, so Kyle Busch couldn't really do anything. But still, decent day for Kyle Busch and the 18 team. We'll see what they could do at the Texas All-Star race, because they were technically the last driver to win at Texas. Finishing 6th was Kurt Busch. I feel like Kurt Busch had a pretty solid day. He was up there at one point. He was leading a few laps in this race. I forgot how many total that he led, but still, Kurt Busch had a pretty decent day. The number 1 Monster Energy car. I know I have a gear wrench car, but the gear wrench car just looks that good. But still, Kurt Busch had a pretty decent day. Just they weren't really up there winning and stuff. They didn't really have the winning potential, but they were still doing pretty good. And also pretty impressed with Kurt Busch, especially after finishing dead last week at Charlotte with the engine issues for him and Ross Chastain. And also heard that I forgot who it was, but someone from Hendrick Motorsports apologized to CGR for what happened and stuff. Because, if you're Hendrick Motorsports and you're making, 2 more engines and stuff, if you're basically making 6 engines for these races, of course you're going to give your 4 best to your drivers, and just give the 2 that aren't as good, and just give it to CGR and see what they can do with that. But still, decent day for Kurt Busch. A really good comeback, I'd have to say, in my opinion, from that bad week at Charlotte last week. And yeah, a good day for Kurt Busch, and basically a good day for CGR overall, because not only does Kurt Busch finish in 6th, but he also has someone finishing in 7th. But still a decent day for Kurt Busch in the 1 team. And finishing 7th was Ross Chastain. Of course, Ross Chastain, he finished 37th last week at Charlotte with engine issues early in stage 1 that Fox didn't really bring up and stuff. But yeah, Ross Chastain still had a decent race, getting a top 10. Especially, I'm surprised they still were able to get a top 10 after kind of being involved in that wreck with Corey LaJoie, because Ross Chastain ran into Corey LaJoie, try to dive it in that final turn at Sonoma and stuff, where there's just no room to give. There just wasn't enough room, and just turned Corey LaJoie and stuff. But yeah, that really sucks for Corey LaJoie, because these last 3 races, he just had strong runs. He did good at Coda. He was running in the top 10. They just didn't get the finish that they deserved. They ran pretty good at Charlotte, and then today at Sonoma, they were running good, but they just did not get the finish that they deserved. But yeah, I have to say it's kind of on Ross Chastain. I know you have fresh tires and you're just on the move, but you just have to be careful, watch where you're going, because you don't want to make over-aggressive mistakes, and that's kind of what Ross Chastain is known for, making over-aggressive mistakes. That's what he did last season in the Xfinity Series. Just sometimes he'll make some over-aggressive mistakes and will take himself out, or just take him out of contention for the win. So that's why I feel like Ross Chastain needs to work on, just needs to be a bit patient, because if you run out of patience like that, you can damage your car, make someone mad at you, and they could come after you, and that's going to put a rival on your back, and that's not something you want to deal with when you're trying to make the playoffs or you're trying to get your first win. So I feel like Ross Chastain just needs to watch out. I like Ross Chastain. I really liked him. I was really pulling for him last season, but here's just a lesson. You just got to watch out. Just got to watch your back. But still, Chastain had a good day, getting a 7th place finish, so a good run for the 42 team. Finishing in 8th was Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin early in this race kind of looked like it was just between him and Kyle Busch of being the best JGR driver, and then Truex just marched his way down the field and just took that spot from both of them. But so Denny Hamlin, after that, he just really wasn't that much of a factor. He was still just running in the top 10 and stuff. But yeah, decent day for Denny Hamlin, the 11 team. I heard on the Fox pre-race show that, at the beginning of the season, it was just about Denny Hamlin, how consistent he was, and how JGR was just doing very good. But now switching over to Hendrick Motorsports and their domination for this past month and stuff. So Denny Hamlin still had a decent race, just he's just not up to winning right now. So I don't know if Denny Hamlin's gonna win a race this season. It's not, especially if you have Hendrick Motorsports dominating, Marten Jr. doing better than him right now, Kyle Busch being a bit better than him and stuff. So we'll just have to see. But decent day for Hamlin in the 11 team. Finishing in 9th was Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman had a pretty decent day. Some mistakes he made. He kind of got into the dirt, or the gravel, sand, whatever you call it. Yeah, it's the dirt, technically. He got into the dirt a bit. He was still running pretty good in the top 5. He's definitely had a top 5, top 10 car. And then later in the race, with the Ross Chastain, Corey LaJoie incident, Bowman made contact with somebody. I think it was Byron. Yeah, it was Byron, and then he hit the wall and stuff. So he had a pretty messed up front of the car, and then he didn't pit. I was thinking, oh, okay, they're just going to stay out. And then with the next restart, he ran into the back of Anthony Alfredo, and then Christopher Bell got loose and spun out, and then Alfredo spun out, and Anthony Alfredo would have had a top 10 finish. Really sucks for that 38 team, because Front Row Motorsports, they were running really good today, but then they just did not get the finishes that they deserved. Anthony Alfredo and Michael McDowell, because Michael McDowell spun out on the final lap of the race, or actually in the last corner, so that really sucked. But still, Bowman had a decent race, and after that, he was still able to get a 9th place top 10 finish. I was thinking, okay, so now Bowman has a top 10 finish in every single road course race so far. So the next one, which would be, I believe, Road America. So we'll see what Bowman can do there, because I don't remember the last time Bowman raced at Road America. I don't even know if he's ever raced at Road America, but we'll see. But still, decent day for Bowman in the 48 team. And rounding at the top 10 and 10th was Ryan Blaney. Nothing significant to say about Ryan Blaney. They were kind of a non-factor into this race. They did get damage during the race, and I was thinking, dang, where did he get that from? And then Fox never talked about it and stuff, and I was thinking, oh, okay, so we're just going to ignore that. So Fox has had some issues of missing some of these incidents and stuff. I mean, I'll have to admit, it's not as bad as when NBC, in 2017 at, I believe it was Road America, or no, it was Mid-Ohio, I think. and they missed so many wrecks that so many cars spun out and stuff. They just weren't pointing that out because it was the final lap. I'm thinking, wait, what? I think it was 2017 or 2018. No, wait, it was 2017, but I don't know if it was Mid Ohio or Road America. I don't know whichever one, or if it was 2016. I don't know. Actually, I just need to look it up right quick. Alright, I looked it up. It was 2017 at Mid Ohio, where NASCAR just or actually it was NBC missing a lot of wrecks at a road course. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen at the Indy road course or at Road America. So, or the Charlotte Roval. We'll just see, or whatever other road course I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing any. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to hurt my head. But still, decent day for Blaney and the 12 team, making a comeback after getting that damage that Fox just missed. But still, decent day for the 12 team. Alright, so I checked back on that last clip and I realized I missed Watkins Glen. How could I miss Watkins Glen? But anyway, now let's rate this race. This race was pretty good. We had some good battles and stuff with NASCAR side by side, not the commentators calling it. Pretty lazy. But still, it was a pretty decent race. A lot of action. There's some action going on and stuff. Kyle Larson just kept expanding his lead and stuff, or extending it and stuff. So it was a pretty cool to watch some of the battles that we were having. It's a road course and stuff. It was pretty decent. Not much drama happened, but some of it did. It was like an hit or miss race. It was a pretty good, like, some semi hit. It was a pretty decent race. So if I had to rate this race, I'll give it a good 7 out of 10. Oh, that's what I rate it and stuff, because this race, it was pretty well as a whole and stuff. We had some good racing and stuff. We did have some incidents, but we'll get to those once we rate the drivers that had a good and bad race and stuff. But still, this race was pretty decent and stuff. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. So here are the two drivers who I think had a good day, or they had a really good comeback. First off, Erik Jones. At one point, he got into the dirt or the dust or whatever. I don't know what it was on Sonoma, but still, I think he got into the dirt and stuff and fell back a few spots. And he comes back to get an 11th place finish. Well earned for Erik Jones and the 43 team to come back and get a good finish like that. And next up, Bubba Wallace in the 23. They had a tire go down, I believe, at the end of stage 2. And then they had to and Bubba Wallace was able to wheel that thing in the pit road without losing that part on to where his tire was like broken apart and it was like flat and stuff. So that took a while, and he was put a lap down, and he was able to come back and get a 14th place finish. So, and Bubba Wallace not really that good at the road courses, so I think that's a job well done, or a pretty good day for 23XI Racing. Still looking for their best finish of the year, which is so far 11th and stuff that he got at Dover. But still, decent race for both of these drivers. Now, let's look at the drivers that had a bad day, because we have plenty, and I mean plenty. First up for the drivers that did not have a good race, William Byron, got into the back. I believe it was, I forgot, it was somebody. He got into the back of someone after that LaJoie spin, and that knocked the radiator in, and that ended the race. Got their first DNF of the season, so that really sucks for William Byron. And next up, Kevin Harvick. He also got damaged from that wreck when he made contact with Ross Chastain backing into him. So not a good day for Kevin Harvick in the 4 team either, because I believe they finished, 22nd, so that's not good. Aric Almirola, I know he finished 27th and stuff, which was a spot low than where he started, but he was running pretty good. Early, he was running in the top 10, and then they just fall back there, so that really sucks. Jeff Gordon was kind of showing some emotion. He just wanted Almirola to have a good race because how terrible their season has been. Same thing with Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe was running really well in the top 10 early in this race, and then I don't know what happened, but they just fell back and finished, I believe, 17th. So it wasn't all too bad for Chase Briscoe, but I feel like they didn't get the finish that they deserved. Now let's move on to part 2 of the drivers that did not have a good race. Next up, we have Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon said he had some battery issues early in this race, so that was not good for them. They were able to come back and get a 13th place finish, which I think is pretty good. But I'm going to put a neutral on for Austin Dillon, because they had battery issues. They made a comeback from that, getting a 13th place finish. But knowing RCR from these last few races, they got top 10, so you kind of expect better. Next up, Tyler Reddick. I don't know what happened to them. They did have a tire go down at one point, and they finished 19th, so that was a pretty, just not a good race for them, getting a 19th place finish. Ryan Newman finished 33rd. I have no idea what happened to them and stuff. I just don't know what happened. And then next up, you have Christopher Bell, who wrecked twice in this race. No, actually, no. He had an issue early in stage 1 and had to pit, and he was able to get himself back on the lead lap. He was running 6 at one point, and then he just fell back and stuff, and then he got in that spin when I said about Anthony Alfredo and Alex Bowman. So yeah, and then Christopher Bell ends up finishing 24th, so not a good day for the 20 team either. Now let's move on to the final 5 drivers. Next up, Corey LaJoie finishes 18th. Towards the end of the race, like I said with the incident with Ross Chastain, only gets an 18th place finish. They definitely deserve better than that because they were running, 11th at one point. Anthony Alfredo had a top 10 in his favor, but then he just spun out and stuff, so that really sucks for them. I don't have a Michael McDowell car, and I forgot about it, but also mentioned Michael McDowell spun that final corner and did not get a top 10. He finished, I believe, Dang, I don't even think he got a top 20. No, I think Michael McDowell got 28th, so that's really bad. And then Anthony Alfredo, he got 31st. Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking about it. So yeah, not a good finish for Front Row Motorsports out there having a pretty good day for both of those cars. And Daniel Suarez finishes 12th. He should have had a top 10 and stuff, but that final corner, he just had to avoid some misses, got a 12th place finish, so really sucks that they didn't get a top 10, but still a decent day for them, so I'd say their day was neutral. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hit the wall kind of the same way how Casey Kane hit the wall back in 2017 and stuff. So yeah, decent, not a good day for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I believe they finished, actually, I don't even know where they finished. Oh yeah, they finished dead last, 37th. And then and then he got back on the track and had an engine issue. And then finally, Ryan Preece, who finished, I think, where did Ryan Preece finish? I think he finished 21st after having that contact from Matt DiBenedetto from behind, spun him out. And then I think it was pretty dumb of him to come back on track. Should have just stayed there, wait for everyone to pass, because then he hit Cody Ware, ended Cody Ware's day and stuff. And then Cody Ware gets the worst of it after Priest gets 21st, Cody Ware gets 34th, so that's not really fair. So yeah, those are all the drivers who had a bad race, and I told you we had a ton. And that would do it. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. More videos to come out soon and stuff. I'll have some videos in June and July, so watch out for those. And they're not only just NRR videos, but still, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the race at Sonoma. We'll be heading to Texas for the Texas All-Star race. I will not be going to that race and stuff. I just don't really want to go to the All-Star race and stuff, especially after that format they unleashed us. But still, yeah, see you guys next time in the next video for the Texas All-Star race review, and have a great rest of your day, and peace out.